April 1st, 2020, the pilot episode of the hit show Smiling Friends premiered on Adult Swim. And since its episode airing, Smiling Friends became a huge success and quickly became the most viewed episode of any show on the network's website. Shortly after, Adult Swim ordered several new episodes to be made, and on January 10th of 2022, the show would officially air its first season. The show became a massive success, and the popularity with the show grew, especially with online fans of the show. Now, 2 years ago, I made a video talking about the show and reviewing the first season, but I never really went in depth into the show and why the show is having huge success, why it's connecting with fans so much, and why Smiling Friends is going to be the next big adult animated cartoon. Since the second season came out recently, I wanted to dive a little deeper into this wonderful and hilarious show and find out what makes Smiling Friends so unique. Before I get into the good important stuff, I'm going to explain what the show is about for those who live under a rock. I mean, for those who don't know what the show is. It's okay if you don't know the show. It's totally fine, okay? I love you. Smiling Friends is an adult animated series that was created by Zach Hadel and Michael Cusack, both of which started off creating animations on the internet. They would post their animations on sites such as YouTube and of course Newgrounds. Their popularity in the indie animation community and from their work on numerous projects would lead them to meet and work together, and would later on create this wonderful and unique show together. The show is all about a company called the Smiling Friends and follows the main characters Pim, Charlie, Alan, Glep, and the boss, and their attempt to help people smile. Aw, that's cute. So what's so unique about this silly little cartoon? The first thing that comes to mind is the unique and creative art style in this show. The art style in Smiling Friends is probably one of the most creative and striking styles that I've seen in an adult animated series in such a long time. From the character designs to the bright and vibrant colors that are used for the characters in the backgrounds of each scene, it is all done very creatively, and at times it can be quite over the top and be a little too much when it comes to more obscure episodes such as Season 2 episode The Magical Red Jewel and the character and background designs of Spamtopia. But that's the point. It's supposed to be over the top, loud and outlandish, and I absolutely love it. I love it so much. Especially with the context of this episode, it's done so well and fits the tone of the episode so perfectly. They use different art styles throughout the show, and it's very noticeable in Season 2, with such a wide variety of artists and animators getting the chance to show their creativity in the episodes that they've worked on. And I think that's another reason why this show works so well and each episode is creative in their own way. And that has to do with creative freedom. Episodes like Brother's Egg, in which one of the characters, Doug, is fully animated in rotoscope. The creators of the show got filmmaker Joel Haver to help out on this episode to play and voice the character Doug, and of course to use his style of rotoscoping animation for this episode and to animate Doug. Other examples include the Season 2 episode Gwimbly, in which they got animator and YouTuber Holopy to animate the iconic video game Gremlin. There are so many other examples of guest appearances and well-known internet animators creating bits and parts for episodes of the show. And with this wide variety of art styles and creative animation and character designs, you can start to understand that all of it brings so much more life into this show and this whole world that Zach and Michael have created. Smiling Friends is a perfect example of indie and internet animators, when given certain freedom and control on their projects, can create some of the best and most hilarious pieces of animation out there with enough dedication and love put into the project. And the wide variety of art styles and animators who worked on these episodes prove this point. I mean, come on, they got goddamn Doug Walker, the nostalgia critic, on an episode of Smiling Friends. Literally anything can happen in this show. I love it so much. I think it's so great.
Oh, now we'll never find out how to vanquish the evil demon.
I just found out how to vanquish the evil demon on YouTube.
Hello, I'm Daniel the Demon Slayer. I slay demons so you don't have to.
So you've encountered Ophelia Diabulu's demon and you've decided to slay it. Before we get to that though, this video is brought to you by the Dollar Shave Club.
Sorry, let me just skip ahead of that.
Thank you.
I can't think of another adult animated show that does this sort of stuff. Smiling Friends easily does it best when it comes to creativity in their episodes. Another reason that makes Smiling Friends such a unique and creative show is the comedy and the writing in these episodes.
How hard could that be?
The comedy and overall writing of jokes in this show is by far one of the most important parts of Smiling Friends. You take out any funny jokes and creative writing from the show and all you got left is not Smiling Friends. I don't know where I was going with that. The humor in the show is very surreal, satirical, and absurd. In many of the episodes of the show, it thrives on creating situations that are very unpredictable and stems from how bizarre and outlandish these scenarios that the characters are put into are. From helping President Jimbo win the next election, but ultimately losing to Mr. Frog by one vote made by Glep.
We're putting his name, face, address, and social security number on screen for our millions of viewers now.
What the dude? Gleb?
Why?
All right, well, whatever I do now is on Gleb.
Gleb, why would you vote for Mr. Frog? Our job was to help President Jimbo.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah. No, good point.
That makes sense.
Alan finding paper clips for the boss goes on an intense and crazy and outlandish adventure to find some paper clips, all for him to end up back at his apartment complex to come face to face with his landlord, who planned this whole little adventure for him, all because he wanted one favor from Alan.
I was just wondering if you wanted to hang out with me and smoke weed and fill our bellies with diet soda and play Burnout Revenge for the PS2.
These scenarios that the characters are put into in each episode are all unpredictable. Literally any outcome that you could think of can happen. These little moments at the end of each episode are all unexpected and shocking, and this just adds to the comedy of the show. Michael Cusack and Zach Hadel's writing style and jokes from their previous works come to play in this show, and if you know their previous work from YouTube and Newgrounds, it's very noticeable, you can easily tell. Taking the ordinary and twisting it into something extraordinarily weird and random, challenging the audience's expectations and making them wonder what crazy shenanigans is going to happen next. And that's what's so unique about the comedy and writing in this show. The visual style plays a key role in the comedy as well. The animation and visuals can change from simple and crude to highly detailed and grotesque in an instant, often added for comedic effect. The dynamic visual styles allow for a range of comedic and physical gags that enhance the show's humor. Like mentioned earlier in the video, the show uses different styles of animation. The sudden shift in art style and different animation techniques are used to punctuate the jokes and heighten the absurdity of the moment. The show also uses live action actors as well to do the same thing. Episodes like Mr. President, The Boss Finds Love, and my favorite example being Tyler in The Magical Red Jewel.
Tyler, you're fired.
Huh?
What? You fired Tyler, you fired me too.
It's fine, Charlie. I love you, brother.
Let's grab some drinks after work, man. I love you. I'll text you.
I can't believe he got fired, man. He didn't deserve it at all. He was the best Smiling Friend, man. I can't believe he got fired. I feel so bad for him. Dark humor is used quite a bit in the show as well to explore dark subjects and any sort of dark material in a way that's both humorous and thought-provoking. The pilot episode of the show is of course a good example, as it shows Charlie and Pym trying to stop Desmond from shooting himself. Dark humor in the show, like the Desmond episode, usually balances its serious subject matter with absurd humor in which it delivers a message that's darkly funny, and in a way heartwarming when it comes to the outcome of every episode where, the characters finally smile. Dark humor is done quite well in the show and doesn't go over the top to the point where it's just downright offensive and not funny at all. From the unique writing used in the show to the amazing art styles and different animation styles used in each episode to even the creative humor and well-written jokes, it separates itself from other adult animated cartoons out there, as Smiling Friends feels fresh and quite a new concept compared to other shows you might have watched. When you look at other adult animated cartoons like Family Guy, The Simpsons, Rick and Morty, South Park, Big Mouth, oh, that's the last time I'm bringing that show up. Oh my god, I almost threw up after saying Big Mouth. Oh my god. They all have something in common. They are all adult animated cartoons, obviously. But they have their own art style and look, their own kind of tone to their episodes, and their own kind of humor. But they never really change this sort of stuff very much, and it's always the same. After 35 damn seasons of the same show since the 90s, and the same kind of humor, art style, and tone for over 30 years, people get tired of it. Just like how people are getting tired of Family Guy, especially family animated sitcoms, once again being rinse and repeat kind of shows. Now don't get me wrong, I love these shows, not you Big Mouth, fuck you. But doing the same thing for over 20 years, it gets tiring and honestly kind of boring. What makes Smiling Friends so different compared to all of these other shows is that it's never afraid to try something new in each and every new episode. They experiment with new art styles for new characters that appear, new kind of animation styles and techniques to use, new creative stories to tell in each episode that feels fresh and have never been done before, and many more examples that just make Smiling Friends so different and so fresh and new. In a landscape filled with interesting adult animated shows, Smiling Friends stands out for its innovative approach to humor, visual styles, unique animation, creative writing, and storytelling in each episode. The show pushes boundaries and does things that not many animated shows usually do. Overall offers a comedic, entertaining, and fresh experience for the viewer. Smiling Friends is a unique and fun little show, and is without a doubt one of my favorite animated shows out there. And also, Glep is literally me. He's just a little tiny little guy. Just look at him. Look at this little fella. He's just running around. Look at him go. He's literally me. That's literally me. I'm just this green little booger. He's so me.